All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to do something pretty cool. We're going to take what most people would call trash and turn it into an amazing little treasure, a papier-mâché penguin that's actually useful. But before we start, let me ask you a question. Do you think you could make a helmet, a real protective helmet, out of just paper? It sounds kind of crazy, right?
Well, it turns out it's not crazy at all. This is the incredible power of papier-mâché. It's this ancient art form started way back in China, and get this, they actually did use it to make things like helmets. That's just how surprisingly strong and versatile this stuff can be.
So, we're going to borrow that same ancient, super strong technique and use it for something a little more fun. We're reimagining it to create our very own penguin, one that's got a pretty cool secret.
Okay, first things first, we've got to get our creative toolkit ready. Let's walk through what you'll need to grab and exactly how to mix up the perfect batch of papier-mâché pulp.
And the best part about this is you probably have almost all of this stuff just lying around your house. We're talking tissue paper, some basic glue, water, an old plastic bottle, and the magic ingredient that holds it all together, arrowroot powder.
Now pay close attention, because this is a huge tip. When you're getting the tissue paper ready, you have to tear it into really tiny little pieces. Seriously, the source material says it perfectly. The smaller, the better. This is the real secret to getting a pulp that's smooth and strong.
So what you'll do is take that whole roll of torn up tissue, add in about 750 grams of the arrowroot powder, and then pour in around 250 grams of glue for extra strength. Then you just slowly add water and start mixing it all up until you get this thick paste. It should feel kind of like you're making dough.
All right, our pulp is officially ready to go. Now we get to the really fun part. We're going to start sculpting and actually turn that old plastic bottle into a fantastic little penguin.
So the first step is to get the base ready, and we're going to use an old soft drink bottle for that. But listen, this next part is super important. You have to cut the bottom off the bottle, so please make sure you get an adult to help you with this bit.
Before you slap on the pulp, you'll want to coat the bottle with a single layer of tissue paper using a watery glue mix. This just helps everything stick a little better. Once that's mostly dry, you can start applying your pulp. Just grab little lumps of it to shape out the head, the beak, some wings, and even its tiny feet.
And here's the key to getting it right. You're aiming for a layer that's about 1 centimeter thick all over. So if you go too thick, it might just slide right off before it dries. But if it's too thin, it won't be very strong. So 1 centimeter is the sweet spot.
And now for what is definitely the hardest part of any project like this, being patient. You have to let this thing dry completely, and that could take a full day or two. Don't rush it. This step is absolutely crucial if you want a nice, hard surface to paint on later.
Okay, fast forward, and our penguin is all sculpted and perfectly dry. But remember that secret I mentioned earlier? Well, this isn't just a cool-looking model.
Because it is, in fact, a storage penguin. Yep, it's actually designed to hold things, to be a little secret hiding spot for your treasures. Which, of course, brings up the obvious question, where is it? The whole thing looks totally solid. How on earth does it work?
Okay, this is the really clever part. You take that empty cardboard tube from the tissue roll and the plastic base you cut off the bottle way back at the beginning. You just glue that plastic piece to the bottom of the roll and bam! You've just created a perfect little container that slides right up inside the hollow penguin. It's absolutely genius.
So, our penguin is built, its secret compartment is ready, which means it's time for the final, most colorful stage, bringing this little guy to life with some personality. But hold on, before you grab those paintbrushes, here's a fantastic pro tip from the source material. If you want a really slick, professional-looking finish, you can take a little piece of sandpaper and just gently smooth out the whole sculpture. It makes a huge difference in how the paint goes on. Now look, you could totally paint it the classic black and white. But let's be honest, that's a little boring, isn't it? The whole point here is to make something that's colorful, impressive, and totally one of a kind. So go nuts, use bright, fun colors, and make this penguin your own. So, let's do a quick recap. You mix your pulp, you sculpt it around a bottle, you let it dry for a day or two, you build that awesome secret container, and then you paint it with all the flair you've got. It's a pretty simple process for a really amazing result, right? And just remember, this penguin is only the beginning. Once you've got this technique down, you can make literally anything you can dream up. A pirate with a treasure chest, a colorful parrot, you could even seal up the top, cut a little slot, and make a money bank. The possibilities are endless.
So, at the end of the day, you've just learned this ancient, incredibly powerful, and really fun art form that literally turns trash into treasure. So the only real question left is, what are you going to transform next?